Thought you might need these.
Please, Peter, you know better than to do that to somebody with a hangover.
Hey, you're lucky a headache's all you have after what you did.
Wait. You know what I did? What'd I do?
What'd you do? Well, you went ripping through Mrs. Nelson's rose garden. Then you were directing traffic down at 5th and Main, impersonating an officer. Yeah, you were. And then, let's see. Then you went plowing through a delicatessen.
Oh, come on, Davidson.
I got your keys when you passed out in my living room. I'm glad my mom wasn't there. Then Dr. Phillips walked in.
He didn't see me drunk, did he?
Well, no. He knew you were sleeping it off in the other room, though. I told him.
Thanks a lot. Who's my buddy?
Hey.
Come on, I've stuck up for you plenty of times.
Yeah, and so that means I'm supposed to watch over you every time you get wasted?
No, it's not that bad. I mean, I haven't done it in a long time. And besides, I'm getting so that I can handle my liquor again.
That's how you're going to handle this problem with Stacy? Or was it with Prescott Development? You didn't go into any detail.
It's both. One's personal, one's professional.
Or maybe one's in the past and one's in the present.
Well, no, they're kind of running together now, but they're both disasters.
That. Gosh, well, it looks like you bought out the New Life bookstore.
Yeah, well, not exactly.
Wait a minute, these are from the church. This is a remedial reading program.
Yeah, I know, Mom.
Well, why did you lug them all the way over here?
Well, you're going to church this morning, aren't you?
Yeah, but...
Yeah, well, I wanted you to take them back for me, if you would.
Well, why? I don't understand.
Well, I've gotten really involved, in a lot of things, and I just don't have time anymore for the reading program.
Does Reverend Morrison know about this?
Well, no, not yet, but I'm going to call him,
Well, he's going to have a hard time finding somebody as good as you are.
Well, I can't help it, Mom. I promised the Bedford Institute that I would work on the charity ball for the Institute. So I'm going to be really full with my schedule, and I'm sort of looking forward to it.
Sort of?
Yeah, well, you know how these society events are. They're all behind on their planning, so there's a lot of catch-up work to do.
What about the catch-up work that the church is going to have to do if you leave the program?
What do you mean? I mean, the worst problem we had was with Michael Heath. And last session, you know that his reading problems were almost totally over.
I know that, Laurie, and everybody's very grateful to you for that. But Michael still has emotional problems. And if this program is dropped, he could suffer a setback.
Look, it's not going to be dropped. As a matter of fact, just last week at church, Peggy Henderson said, hey, if there's anything I can do for you...
Well, it sounds like you've got your mind all made up.
Well, I do. Mom, I think this is a good chance to show Ben that I'm behind him. Look, you know the difficult times that we have had since he made this career change. And I am so grateful to him that we're staying in Kingsley. I think this is the least I could do, is get behind the charity ball and show him that I appreciate him and I support him.
Well, I'm all for that.
Look, Mom, this is important, okay? And it's going to be a good change of pace for me, and I'll get to meet some of Kingsley's elite, and, you never know what kind of opportunities could open up.
Laurie, are you neglecting your church duties in order to meet the country club set?
What are you saying, Mom?
Hey, I don't get it. You said Prescott Development was secure.
I thought it was, or would be.
What's the problem?
You remember the Canterbury?
Hey, I worked here then. Almost wiped us out.
Yeah, but we pulled through. Because of Stacy. She uncovered the fact that Vicki Lang sabotaged us.
Yeah, Well, with my Aunt Nancy coaching her along.
Yeah, well, I wish Stacy was here to help us with this one.
Gil, you just told me a couple of days ago you guys had several buildings going up.
Yeah, I do, but it's not enough. I've got several outstanding loans with the bank that I've got to try to catch up with. I don't have the work.
Hold it.
Now I'm going to have to close up.
You had several outstanding loans and you kept spending?
You can't make money without spending money, Peter. But now, I've got some of the best equipment in Kingsley, but I just can't seem to get to work. These older companies are better established. They've been here for years. Maybe I should have taken a job with one of those older companies a long time ago.
Oh, come on. Things are rough, but where's the old Gil? Guy who refuses to give up.
Oh, don't talk to me about giving up. Yeah, you've had your problems with Courtney, but I've lost Stacy, and now I'm about to lose my business. I'm sure she's laughing about the whole thing, too.
Did you tell her about the business problem?
There's no way. She's already got her jollies by kicking me out of her life. She'd really have a field day with this.
Well, maybe it doesn't have to happen. Hey, maybe the banks will give you more time.
I've already checked with the banks. I'm paying interest on overdue interest already. The accountant told me I've either got to get rid of some people or land a big deal. I don't really believe in miracles.
What about your father? Can he help you?
There's no help there either. I talked to him the other day, and he said it would be in everyone's best interest if we closed up the Kingsley office. Had me go down to Carolina. Hello? What would Preston Carpenter want to do see me? Yeah, send him in.
Oh, no. I haven't talked to him since Courtney accused me of trying to seduce her.
Well, Gil Prescott. Mr. Carpenter, how can I help you?
Well, I hope you can help me a great deal, Mr. Prescott.
Hi, Mr. Carpenter. I know that whatever Courtney's been talking to you about is probably untrue, and if you give me just a few minutes, I can prove that to you.
Oh?
Yeah, yes, sir. You see, I think the accusations, I'm not exactly
Mr.
sure-
Davidson, I think I love my daughter more than you'll ever realize.
Yes, sir.
And like all parents, I want to believe everything that my child tells me. This time I don't.
You don't?
No. Perhaps sometime in the future I'll find out what happened and why. But knowing you, I found certain aspects of the story difficult to accept.
Thank you, sir. Look, however she came up with this...
But I don't think this is the time or the place to talk about it. I'm here on business.
I agree with you totally.
Thank you.
And, talk to you later?
Yeah, right.
I'm sure things are going to work out.
Yeah, they will.
Okay.
I'll talk to you later, Peter.
Okay.
You're a friend of the Davidson boy?
Yes. I've known him quite a while. He used to work for me.
Oh.
So, you, had some business that you'd like to discuss with me?
Yes, I do.
Lucille, would you please hand me that file on Mr. Mallory?
Isn't he the one that comes in here like an old shoe half the time?
A what?
An old shoe, grumpy.
Well, I guess you'd be a little on edge yourself if you had to live with acute hypertension all the time the way he does.
Thank you. What I have to live with is just getting me down about right now, too. I don't think the swelling in my nose is ever going down.
Well, you could always play Cyrano till it heals. Now, are you going to give me that file, or do I have to get it?
Gee whiz, aren't we grumpy?
Besides, it's not really all that bad anyway,
What?
you know. Your nose. I mean, you look a lot better than you do in those snapshots there.
Really? Do you really think so?
Would I lie to you, Lucille?
I don't know. I just never thought anybody around here would admit there was any improvement.
Meaning Dave.
And you.
Well, I thought he's apologized to you.
Yeah. It just gets to me still the way the two of you don't think very much of Dr. Graham.
Oh, look, I've got nothing personal against Dr. Graham. It's just that we don't see eye to eye on the Bedford Institute. I think he's a very competent surgeon.
Do you?
Yes. Has to be. You see, I've had such a hard time getting used to your irascible old personality coming out of your new face.
Thank you. I think.
It's getting so I can hardly tell you apart from Connie Fontaine.
Oh, my goodness, you certainly do know how to get into a girl's heart. Well, not only did Dr. Graham say I'd look younger, but more intelligent also.
Lucille, Why does that matter so much to you?
What?
Your looks.
Why does it matter if you have enough to eat or if the sun comes up or if you got air to breathe? Good night, Alex. You've been married. You know it's important to a woman to look good.
I know, there's nothing wrong with looking good, but it's just that you've been so obsessed with it lately. And Lucille, you don't need to be. You were a very attractive woman before you had that surgery done, and you're going to look fine in a few weeks.
Nobody can understand.
Understand what?
You can tell me all day long that I'm attractive, and if I don't feel attractive, it just doesn't mean anything to me.
Well, that's where I differ from the Bedford Institute. It seems like they always want to toy around with people's insecurities, especially rich people's.
Well, that I ain't. But are you trying to tell me I'm insecure?
Oh, you know better than that. Plastic surgery is a very valid solution in many cases, and I'm sure you're going to be glad you had yours done in the long run. But, Lucille, what I'm trying to say is that you and I would still be very good friends even if you'd never had that surgery.
You mean you'll still talk to me even if my swelling doesn't go down?
Well, of course I will, and you know that. Now, just relax. I'm convinced that swelling's going to go down, and you're going to look as good as new. You know, Lucille, a lot of people look great on the outside, but if they're not beautiful inside the way you are, those looks mean nothing.
You really mean that?
Yeah, I really mean that. Now, if you'll give me Mr. Mallory's file, I'll give you Vaughn Sumner's file so you can take it into Dave, who I'm sure is wondering where you are.
You do have a way of ruining a beautiful moment.
Yeah, it's called a job. You know, we do have to do our work, even though we do look a lot like Connie Fontaine.
Oh, aren't we cute?
You said you wanted to see me?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do.
And I guess the results of the latest tests are in?
Yes, they are. And the test showed an elevated count in your sample. And the NPT test also showed some registration. It's significant.
Significant in what way?
Well, it's an indication that your sterility is about over, about gone.
Wait a minute, what do you mean about gone?
Well, about 98%.
Well, that is some good news, huh?
The lost hormones that were replaced in your seminal duct have normalized very quickly. Now, we've seen cases like this before, but they're highly unusual.
Doctor, nothing about this case is usual. But that still doesn't change the fact that I'm impotent.
No, it doesn't, but with some psychological counseling, you can overcome that. The point is, it's possible for you to have children one day, and maybe sooner than you think. Well, your wife will be delighted.
Doctor, my wife can't stand to be in the same room with me right now. Somehow I can't believe that this will change that very much at all.
Don't you think you're underestimating her just a little bit?
I wish I was.
Even though the stumbling block that's separating you two is almost eliminated?
Well, unfortunately, there are a few others still in the way.
Such as?
Well, resentment, time, and Peter Davidson, just to name a few.
I don't think Peter cares for her anymore.
Well, whether or not he does, somehow he always manages to sit himself right smack in the middle of it all.
Look, Vaughn, I'm not paid to give advice, but take my word for it. Peter wants you to get back with Courtney.
Boy, that's debatable. And please, I'd rather not go into the reasons why.
Well, all right. That's your choice, but you do have good news to tell your wife. And regardless of how you think she might react to it, I think you owe it to her and yourself to tell her that your sexual problems are almost over.
Lori, I think it's fine for a woman to become involved in her husband's work as much as possible.
Yeah, well, then why are you trying to make me feel like an ogre because I gave up the reading program at the church?
I'm not trying to make you feel like anything. What I want you to do is to try to see this thing from both sides.
And you don't think I have done that already?
I think working for the charity ball is forcing you to give less of yourself in other areas.
Look, I cannot work 24 hours a day. I'm not a machine.
But the reading program isn't full-time.
Well, the charity ball is. Now, Mom, there are plenty of people over that church that aren't involved at all. Why don't they take up the slack for once?
Because if we leave it up to them, it won't get done.
Well, you know what it sounds like you're saying? It sounds like you're saying you either do the charity ball and the church, or you just drop the institute.
It sounds to me like you're trying to force me to make you feel guilty. And that isn't my intention at all.
Well, then what is it?
I guess what I'm trying to say is that I just find it very hard to get used to the idea of not seeing you so often. I'm gonna miss you.
Well, I'm gonna miss you too. But don't get angry with me, okay?
Well, that works both ways.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed our working together lately.
Yeah, I have too. I really have. And, hey, I'm not gonna be this busy forever.
Of course you won't.
So, you'll take the reading materials back for me?
Sure.
Great, thanks.
No problem.
Okay, well, I better go because we're having our first meeting today to get started on everything.
Okay.
All right. Could you hand me my purse?
Oh, sure.
I can go.
Lori, I know everything's gonna go very well for you. I mean, with you there, it's gonna go very right.
Yeah. Well. So, listen, I'll get back with you as soon as I get a chance, okay?
Okay, I'll be here.
Right.
You, say hello to Ben for me. Give him and Scotty big hugs for me.
Okay.
Bye.
So, Mr. Carpenter, how may I help you? I had heard that you had retired. What with your brother going to Chicago and all?
No, I haven't retired yet. Far from it. As a matter of fact, I've been very busy over the past few months forming a new corporation. And I have a proposition that may be of value to you and your company.
Well, I'm all ears. Can I get you a drink or anything?
No, thank you, no, thank you. Before we go too far, there is one thing I would like to settle. The issue of privacy.
Oh, well, I have no problems with the confidentiality of my clients.
Good, because I don't want my plans discussed with anyone. Old friends or family members, you see. A little loose talk too soon could cost both of us a great deal of money.
Well, you have my word.
Good. All right, my problem concerns 2 blocks of real estate that I own on the Kingsley River.
Okay, where?
In the Chesterfield section of the city. I want the tenement houses on that property removed, and I would like to have docks and warehouses built in their place.
I see. And you would like for me to put in a bid on this project?
Yes.
Well, you've made my day.
Well, you don't have the job yet, Mr. Prescott. Pardon me. Naturally, I'm going to get other bids.
Oh, naturally. But I think that you'll find that the quality of work that you can get from my company for the price can't be beat. We've got some of the finest equipment in the state.
Oh, yes, I know. I have already checked your company out. I hope you don't object.
Oh, no, not at all. I'm sure that you've checked with some of our previous clients.
Yes?
Your brother, for instance, we built Hollister Mall for him.
Yes, I know. But while doing this check, Mr. Prescott, I found out that your company may have some financial difficulties.
How did you find that out?
I have connections here in the city. Oh, please, now, don't worry. I mean, your secret is safe with me, as long as you keep mine.
Yes. I'm sure that your connections here in the city also informed you that you may have some trouble with rezoning. That usually takes a few months to get through.
Yes, I know. I'm already working on it. We've got several things going for us. One, the buildings that we want to eliminate are an eyesore to the community, and the docks and warehouses will increase the real estate taxes tremendously. Plus, all the new jobs the company will provide.
Well, I certainly hope that the city council sees it your way. But we are going to be relocating several hundred families from that area, no matter how poor they are.
Well, once everyone is convinced how the total community, and these people in particular, will be helped by the project, I think they'll move quickly.
Well, the sooner the better.
Yes, I agree. All right. I'll see that you get plans and specifications, and you let me have your bid shortly?
Consider it done.
All right.
I respect your confidence, Mr. Carpenter. I like to work that way, too.
Thank you, thank you. And who knows? If your bid is as low as I hope it will be, this could be the start of a profitable relationship. Mr. Prescott?
Gil, Mr. Carpenter.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon. Oh, boy.
Look, I don't usually get involved in my patient's personal affairs, but our relationship has been rather unique from the beginning. Look, I know that Courtney is trying to get your marriage annulled.
Yes, and I'm trying to stop her. But who knows how much good it will do.
Well, maybe it'll do a lot of good if she knows that there's a chance for a cure.
Right. Well, I'd love to believe that, Doctor. But I'm afraid you don't know Courtney very well. Maybe if I just wait.
No. Time's a crucial factor, believe me.
I suppose you're right. I mean, Courtney used to want a child more than anything in the world. Maybe she still feels the same way.
Well, you won't know unless you ask her. Vaughn, if you don't trust the people you love, you can't expect them to trust you. And let's face it, there have been times in your life when you've made it complicated.
It's funny, I don't think I've ever felt like this. I mean, I've had my share of humiliation. To tell you the truth, it's been... well,
What, rewarding?
yeah, rewarding.
Well, sometimes we have to get to the bottom so we can look up. And it might just help you and Courtney if you do that.
I appreciate the advice. I'll give it some thought. Thanks.